Ether ring. I'm inclined to use this on the inner ring. That one. Covers the inner ring. And there's the other. Always going to get power switches. That looks like there's something else plugged in. Looks like the places where you plug in the emergency power battery. Start control. We've already killed the turrets. What did you pick? We didn't need to actually solve the puzzle to get here. Onward and downward. Take those digipicks. I do run low on digipicks from time to time, so they're not, freely expendable, even though they did change the puzzle so that you could go back on the puzzle without... It used to be it cost you a digipick if you planted some picks and wanted to undo one. Now you can undo for free. It does always cost one pick the first time you drop one in, though. Essentially, it means that it costs one digipick to solve each puzzle.
Project log. Dr. Victor Isa. We turned on the prototype today. The gravitational field around it began to fold as we long suspected. Complete reversal of gravitational pull was observed on dozens of loose objects around the lab. I'm setting up a meeting with the directors to propose a larger test. The prototype proves we don't need the original anymore, but further work is going to have to take place in space. Somewhere with abundant helium-3 and with a civilian partner. Someone with access to large-scale manufacturing resources and computational equipment. Engineering gravitational folds pulling the far side of the solar system closer to us. It's all going to be possible.
Okay, so they were saying 100 years ago. I just double-checked. This is 2138, and start of the game is at 2330, so this is almost 200 years ago. This would be like us finding primary sources, recordings of things that have happened 200 years ago. And a wow.
Project log. Dr. Judith Tatian. I watched the gravjite tests from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing androids of drives, expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years, decades, before we know what all the side effects of operating a grav drive can be, but no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
So our objective is now changed to find out information about the grav drive's side effects.
We must be nearing the artifact, if it is here. We should not give up now.
Okay, so if this is used, it's on the second ring. Do I see anything better for the second ring? Potentially that one with a single, so either that or that with a single. We need to reserve one of the singles for the second ring. First ring is again that and a single. Or that one and a single. And the innermost one. So we need 3 singles. Okay. Well, they can't both use this one, so. And that's single. And that.
Is there a lock you cannot defeat?
Advanced lock, 2 rings. That one's not used. That could be the outer there. Yeah. Or inner. Well, let's give this a try. There we go. So, an old Earth hunting rifle might be. Oh, and 3 did you? Take a quick look at weapons here. So the new old Earth hunting rifle is not quite as good a weapon as existing distance weapon, but I think caliber shorter range. Yes, 89 instead of 100. So if we started gathering 9x39 ammo again, go back to using a Space Adept refined old Earth hunting rifle. Now when I switched weapons, it changed the DPS of the weapon. Interesting. 426. 62. So I guess it's important to have no weapon in your hand when you evaluate weapons. Interesting. Almost like it's using all of the stuff here from your current weapon. Okay, let's cut the pins. Figure out where this goes. Ooh. think I'm ready to go in there quite yet. Let's look around a little bit more. So, gravity failure and some machinery humming tells me that they're messing around with an artifact. Andreja found a different path up. Oh, gravity seems to come and go. I wonder if it's on time or triggered by people coming into the room. Okay, expert lock. 3 bands. That's not used. That's not used. Inner ones. Could be second band there or band there. This has got to be on the outer. And it will be fit in that one way, I think. Got to be innermost and would here. And there's our innermost. These two are our innermost ring. Center ring. There in a single. These are outer ring. Those are. Old Earth shotgun.
Can succeed at that before we are discovered.
Andreja, there's nobody here. Another advanced door. This one has to be here if it's used. Bing. That one. And that is not ever there. There are. Got Victor Elza dead on the floor. We've got his computer.
I never actually got to visit your labs back when we were working on the grav drive projects.
Seems like ancient history now. Only thing we're doing these days is launching weather satellites.
Guess this is as good a retirement as any. Now, Project Demeter, you want our help manufacturing scanners to better track these new meteorological patterns we're seeing.
Our guess is that the poles might be naturally shifting, causing some gravitational fluctuations that are throwing off our old models.
Why do you need the scanning tolerances to be so small? What are you trying to find?
I just want to be sure. It's not like we're doing much these days anyway. The glory days are over. Why not give ourselves a challenge before they write us off in the history books?
So that's 2149, so it's been a while since they started working on the grav drive. Earth's magnetosphere show clear signs of fluctuation correlating the periods of grav spikes emanating from the moon.
I know what I'm seeing, Victor. The data coming back from the satellites is very clear. It's the grav drives.
All those jumps from the moon. At this rate, Earth's atmosphere is going to start sputtering out into space.
Can the drives be fixed?
I'm working on some designs that should discreetly solve the problem, under the guise of an emergency update to the fueling pumps.
We're talking about the end of Earth, and you're trying to be subtle about it.
Judith, the last thing we need is people losing faith in grav drive technology. That might be our only option.
To what? Are you seriously saying we should abandon Earth?
The timeline is under 50 years. A blink of an eye for a planet, but more than enough time for a human exodus.
And what do we tell people?
We say it's an act of God, one that science has found a solution for. Time for humanity to take its place in the stars.
You knew, didn't you? You lied to me. All this time. I dedicated my life to this discovery, Victor. And you knew we were going to kill off our planet?
You haven't seen the future I've seen. There's an infinite expanse of promise out there. A meteor could hit Earth, a plague, another world war. Colonizing other galaxies secures humanity's future for all coming generations, across all time.
At the expense of our home.
Stop it, both of you. All that matters is building enough ships to get everyone off this planet. And we need to start now.
I'll draft up a statement. We'll need to address the entire international community. I'm sorry, Judith.
There isn't a planet in this universe that will be far enough away from you, Victor. We are never speaking again after this is over.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
Okay. Well, that tells us the story.
It is all connected. The artifacts, grav drives, our very existence here in the settled systems. How did we not see it before now?
But before I release it, let's take a look around. So from this floor, there's no way in. Should be way in from above, which we already found. Let's see if there's access on this lower floor. Expert lock. Okay, 3 rings. That one's not on the outer ring. This one, I'm just going to pick the rings in order, and we'll back out if things get complicated. Okay, second ring. This one could only be used on the inner ring. And if we do, it's... We'll reserve these two. There we go. Calibrate spacesuit. Really worth picking up in there. Pick. What else do we have on this floor before we go in? That's a maintenance.
Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets.
That we're going to go in and peek around in here before we release the artifact. So there's the artifact. I'm guessing this is where we come to grab it when it's been released. So I guess let's go release it. So let's go get the artifact. We have gravity back. Artifacts, sigh.
Destination. We've arrived on the surface of Earth. We need to discuss what you found.
And it looks like other Starborn got here before us. So, you might have company.
Okay, so we want to switch over to set star stuff so we can find them. We are well armed.
Just another test to overcome. Hear the music of the universe.
Up there. These guys don't really do a lot of damage. I have a bad habit of not watching my health meter.
That is a wonder to behold.
Okay. So they're actually up. Top floor. Two of them. They're in cover. So one of them teleported out. Goodbye. That one's way up there. We're not going to be able to see him until we get to the top. I like the idea of staying hidden as much as possible. Big advantage. Apparently he is duplicating himself. Why I'm suddenly seeing two of them go away when I shoot one down. Power required. Wish I could reorganize that display on the HUD a bit. Make it a little more obvious or about my health and power. Not facing a whole lot of Starborn, especially considering how quickly they go down when I do get to them. This looks like it's a room I have already looted. I'm going to cut through this wall here. As I suspected, is a significant shortcut.
Serpent has blessed you.
Okay, so there's like a number of them hanging out in this museum area. Cover above us.
Perhaps it
Last guy's up there. Yeah, behind the wall. He's running away. I'm going to continue toward the exit.
Where have they gone? Cowards.
Yeah, he's way back there. He doesn't know where we are. But we're not going to worry about him. We kill them. Get this quantum essence, which for 60 seconds our power regenerates faster. Quantum essence you get when you kill a starborn, which is not something you can just kind of farm. And having the power regenerate faster, unless it's a lot faster, I would have to figure out something I could do with that increased power. Be like having mana regen on a character in World of Warcraft when you don't actually have any spells. Where are they? This elevator? Elevator. Talk to the emissary. Make sure everything is reloaded in case this stops being a talk and starts being a shoot. So if we pull our weapons, it'll be the shotgun. Let's see. We may have to convince them of some things. I've got Paramore, which is 25% persuasion. I have many of those. I will use one.
Do you understand now why I asked you to come here? The artifacts unlocked the secret of interstellar travel, at the cost of Earth.
An easy trade, honestly. Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems? Assuming we weren't going to lose it anyway. War, disease, famine, all the classics.
Don't you see? The power of the artifact forced humanity to the stars. They didn't get to make a choice. How many would have chosen Earth? What gave Victor Isa the right to choose for them?
You see the hypocrisy in what the emissary is saying, right? They don't want to rob people of their free will, but then they steal the artifacts for themselves.
In the wrong hands, the power of the artifacts can make anyone a tyrant. That's why we watch over them. The only thing you're watching out for is yourself.
So, I'm not going to get into what happened on Old Earth and the fact that they probably could have found someplace else to set off with their grav drives rather than the moon. But in this case, I don't agree with either one of them.
Don't be a fool. The emissary and I may have our differences, but you do not want to give us a common enemy.
Oh, I think I can take you both
For
on.
once, he's right. Don't do this. We can collect the final pieces together.
Well, look at that. The emissary just became my new best friend.
You've made your choice. When you're ready, the Hunter and I will be at the buried temple. That's where we'll settle things.
Meaning, we'll kill you. But hey, at least we'll wait till you get there. Everyone deserves a shot at the final artifact.
Wow. Okay. Skill point available. Two skill points available, actually. So let's go back to my priority list. Run through this really quick. We are done with persuasion and stealth. The next one on my priority list was security. We can boost this up one more. If we do that, we'll expend a digipick to eliminate keys that are not required. That's not that impressive, so I am going to downgrade my priority on security for a bit. The next one is ballistics, which makes all of our ballistic weapons do more damage, and in this case it's increasing range. That's nice, but it's not awesome. Let's see, weightlifting and fitness, we are not ready yet. I'm still trying to get down to concealment. So I need to actually actively go out and do lifting and fitness. I don't know. Set off and stick it to 2 point. We'll need that eventually. But unless we're going to go scare up a bunch of experience points and rank up our physical, I think concealment is off the table. Commerce is done. What are we doing in ships? Piloting. Need to kill more ships before we can do piloting. We could level up our particle beam systems. What are we chasing here? Automated weapon systems is on the list, and that does allow us to use turrets, which will shoot at things behind us. Also, something I'd like to have.
Put it to the side.
Rifle. We use a lot of rifles, so rifles are a good one. Ballistics and rifles are both right now. We've put a lot of single points into social, which allow us to use those abilities. Ship command, we can add another crew member if we want. I don't have anybody I want to add to the ship, but not too far in the future, we might. Certainly an NG plus if we wanted to gather everybody together. This would allow us to have all of the named companions plus Vasco, although I think Sarah adds a point anyway, so we probably don't need it even for that. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera and I will go do some wind sprints, and I will put these 2 points into weightlifting and fitness. So for fitness, I'll have to use up all the oxygen and carbon dioxide. And for weightlifting, I need to sprint while near maximum load. That's not hard. I've got a outpost where I can go to collect a bunch of crap, and we'll go do that. And I will see you when we come back after I have done those and maybe gotten enough points to spend some more things in. And what I'm going to try to do is get up to concealment before we do the next step of anything. That's because our next quest is to head to Masada 3, which is the buried temple, which is the final artifact. Oh, and along the way, I will probably get the quest for the final temple. Let's see if I can trigger that real quick before I stop this. If I fly out to my base here at Alpha Centauri, Hertz Outpost 1.
There may not be life here, but we should still be cautious.
Okay, that did not trigger the temple. Well, you know what? I will start picking up stuff until I am... Wait. Put down stuff until I am not overweight. Need to be at 75%. Can I do this without juggling back and forth? Oh, I'm already way overweight. No. Well, that was silly. I should have just picked up from one. Yeah, I don't want to be actually overweight when I'm doing these wind sprints and such, otherwise I will be running, well, actually, run through the oxygen too, what do I mean run through the oxygen too fast? Ha! Let's run through the oxygen really quick, and then I will down. So, yeah, we'll be back with the wind sprints done, and I will see you then.